Hi everyone, it's Tracy from Region 2 Area Agency on Aging. Hopefully you're having a few minutes to join us today, and if not, we're going to make sure to post this later so that you can see it and then contact us with any questions if you have any later. We're here today to talk about the census, but I wanted to tell you first and foremost, we're still here, we're still open. Our doors are closed to walk-in guests at this point, but you can connect with us on the phone at 517-592-1974 or at our website, r2aa.net. We still have all of our services and programs in place, and we're here to assist you. If you can't figure out where to get something or how to do something, our intake and referral department is still here. We're still working for you and for you in the community. I know these are tentative times and they can be scary times for a lot of us, but we're here to make things as easy for you as possible, and we're going to get through this together. And it snowed today, so who knows what's coming tomorrow, right? Maybe it'll be 80 degrees. Wouldn't that be wonderful? So I want to introduce Andy Shepard. She's going to talk to you a little bit about the census.
Good afternoon. As Tracy said, my name's Angie Shepard. I am a program manager here at Area Agency on Aging. And one of my many hats that I wear is helping to facilitate our efforts in making sure that as many people in our region as possible complete the census this year. I know that there's a lot of distractions right now and there's a lot of other things going on, and we're concerned and paying attention to a lot of other things, but I'm going to talk a little bit about on what's going on right now and how the census plays into what is happening right now and the importance of it. So hopefully you can take a few minutes and take a break from all the other news that's going on, and if you have any questions, please ask in the comments. Please give us a like or a heart and let us know that you're here. We'd like to answer any questions that you have, so please type those in the comments if any come up. So first I want to talk about why the census is important. The census is actually part of our nation's constitution. It says that we do a population count of everyone in our country every 10 years. So this is 2020, this is the census year. The government uses the census information for many public services. They use this to disseminate funding for health services, Medicare, Medicaid, health centers, school services, including school lunches, infrastructure, including our roads, and all of those public services that we all use. The government uses census data to make sure that our funding is allocated appropriately. So it's very important, and just in light of the current situation going on, I actually did a little bit of research this morning and found that our federal emergency management, FEMA, they actually use census data when they're going into local communities and state communities to help with emergency management. And I know that those services are being used right now in many of our in places in our region right now. So FEMA uses that information. They use census maps. They use it to determine what languages people speak in a certain region and how to communicate with people. They use it to figure out housing and emergency housing. So that just goes to show you why this is so important in all the things that are going on right now. Our government is using that data to make sure that the services are allocated appropriately. So, and just to add on too, it also determines how many representatives our state gets in the House of Representatives in the government. So those are all reasons why the census is really important. And even though there's a lot of other things going on, it's important for everyone to fill it out. So you may have already, if you haven't already received your invitation to complete the census, you will be getting it very, very soon. And I actually brought mine to show you so you can see what it looks like. This is the outside of the envelope. Can you see it pretty? Can you see it? Okay. Tracy says you can see it. And then I just wanted to point out up here in the corner, it says any mail that you get from the Census Bureau is going to come from Jeffersonville, Indiana. So you'll see that this comes from Jeffersonville, Indiana, which is, so you know that it's legit. So that's the front of the envelope. Inside is your invitation to complete the census. I received mine at my house, I think March 13th was when it came, and I actually went ahead and filled it out the very next day. So mine's all done. But this is what the invitation looks like. It's got the census logo up here. It explains, we need your help. We need you to fill this out so that we can make sure that we have enough money for federal funds for schools, roads, and other public services. Help your community prepare to meet transportation and emergency needs, and also determining the number of seats each state has in the U.S. House of Representatives. So this is what it looks like. You'll see right here, they're asking you to respond by April 1st. Due to the current circumstances, they have actually extended the date that you can, the absolute date that you need to fill it out by. It used to be July 31st. Now it's August 14th. So you have until August 14th. But they'd like you to respond by April 1st. You'll see there is a census ID right here. And what that is when you go to the website at my2020census.gov, you will input that ID, and that will indicate the household that you are filling out the information for. Now, you don't have to have this in order to fill it out. You can go on to my2020census.gov and fill it out without this. You don't have to have it. This just makes it a little bit easier. What else would I want to point out on here? So there's also, on the back of this, there's some frequently asked questions. And then the attachment, there is, I can't even count how many languages are on here, information to give you the phone number and how to contact the Census Bureau. It looks like there's at least 20 different languages on here, so that's a good thing. So that's that. If you haven't, like I said, if you haven't received that already, it should be coming any day now. Now, a lot of people ask, well, what if I don't have access to the internet? Or what if I don't use the internet? What if I don't know how to use the internet? How can I fill out the census? Filling it out online is just one way that you can fill it out. You can also fill it out over the phone, or you can call the Census Bureau and request that a paper form be sent to your house, and they will do that for you. I was looking for the phone number on here. Oh, the phone number is 1-844-330-2020. So if you get this in the mail and maybe you are living by yourself and you don't have anybody to help you and you're not comfortable using the internet, you can call that phone number and just do it right over the phone, or ask them to mail you a paper form. So phone, online, phone, or paper are the three ways that you can respond to the census. Being that we're all kind of stuck at home right now, it's something you can easily do from home. So even though there's a whole bunch of other things going on, you're at home, it's something you can do. Just get it done and mark it off your list. Now, what happens if you don't respond? If you don't respond, eventually you may get a knock on your door by a census worker. Now, they are actually delaying those visits right now. I think the last that I heard, those visits are not going to be starting until April 9th. And that may even get pushed back further. We'll just have to wait and see. But if you don't fill it out by a certain date, you may get a visit from a census worker. They may come knock on your door and say, hey, have you filled out your census? Can we help you fill out your census? And that's just their job, making sure that everybody gets it taken care of. So if a census worker does come to your door, you will want to make sure that they have a badge with their photo on it. It'll have their photo, and it will also have the census logo on it. And any equipment that they have is going to have that logo on it as well. And if they have a cell phone or a laptop, all of their equipment that they're carrying with them is going to have that logo on it. And that's just so you know, so you can identify. Unfortunately, people try to take advantage with things like this, and we don't want you giving that information out to anybody that's not legitimately supposed to be doing that. So you may get a knock on your door at some point down the road. Where can you get help filling out your census? There's actually a lot of places that are offering assistance. Now, unfortunately, here at Region 2, we had planned on helping people face-to-face. We were hoping people would come into the office. We could help them that way, and we had hoped that we would be able to go out to homes for those of you that are homebound and might need some in-person assistance. We are not able to do that at this time. So if you need assistance, please do call us. And if we can't help you over the phone, then what we're going to do is we're going to start a list of people who need assistance face-to-face, and we're hoping that we're going to be able to come out and help you with that at a later date. So please, if you need assistance, if you have questions, please call us, 517-592-1974. We'll hopefully get you any answers that you might be looking for. And if you absolutely cannot get it done on your own by calling or doing it online or by mail, we'll take your name down and we'll come out and help you however we can down the road. There's also many other agencies, social service agencies in the area that had plans to help out, that had kiosks in their office. Unfortunately, those aren't options right now, but I know that they are doing similar outreach to what we're doing and, wanting people to call on the phone. We just want to make sure that everybody gets counted. It's so important for all of us, not just people who use Medicare or Medicaid or health centers. I mean, we all use roads, we all use many of the services that the census data relies on. So it's important for all of us to make sure that everyone gets counted and that the federal government has those accurate numbers to make sure that we're getting the funding and the representation that we need. I think that was all I had. Do we have any questions on that?
There's no questions yet, but maybe you could answer. So how would I fill out the census if, let's say, I live in Florida part-time?
So if let's say you're a snowbird and you go to Florida in the winter and then you come back to Michigan in the spring, you will want to fill the census out for your time living at. So if you live here in Michigan, let's say from April to December, and then you take off to Florida for the rest of the winter, you're going to want to fill that out for your Michigan address. Or vice versa. Let's say you live in Florida 9 months out of the year and you're only here in Michigan for a couple of months, then you would fill it out for your Florida address. So wherever you spend most of your time living, that is the address where you will want to put in for your census and be counted for the census.
Okay, now what if I have grandkids who live with me part of the time?
So if let's say maybe you are a part-time guardian for your grandchildren, or even maybe you're a divorced family and kids live with mom and dad part-time, you want to count them wherever they spend the most time, just the same as you would if you were living out of state part-time. Wherever those children are at the majority of the time, that is the household that you want to count them under. If it's 50-50 and they spend equal time at both houses, then you just need to communicate with that other household and say, we're going to count them, we'll figure it out between, the two parties, which ones should be counted for. If they get counted twice, that's better than them not being counted at all. So, just make sure that you are counting everybody that is living in your household, as best as you can.
So I know some people may be concerned about what kinds of questions they will be asked on the census. Can you talk a little bit about that? What we might be asked and what we might not be asked?
So generally, the general questions that you will be asked are for each person in the household, you'll be asked their name, their date of birth, their sex, and their race. Those are pretty much the general questions. You're not going to be asked your social security number. You will not be asked your immigration status. You will not be asked for any bank account or other financial information. It's basic general demographic questions for each person living in your household. It's really pretty quick. I have 4 people living in my household, and it took me about 5 minutes. So maybe a little longer if you have more people, but it's pretty quick and easy, and it's basic questions.
I don't see any other questions coming through. Does anybody have any questions? Got just a few people watching. Or questions about anything? I don't see any coming through.
Okay. All right. Well, hopefully, maybe that's because I answered all your questions. Let's hope. But if you have questions that come up as time goes on, please don't be afraid to call us, 517-592-1974. We do have staff working and able to answer your questions, and we'll try to help you out as best we can, either by phone or electronically. And we sure hope that you will fill out your census, because there's a lot of important services, and it really affects all of us. And so the distractions going on right now, it's kind of working against the census, but I think if we just take 5-10 minutes and go through the online form, make a quick phone call to the Census Bureau, we can get everybody counted and make sure that we get the accurate funding that we need. So I hope this finds you all safe and well, and please contact us if we can help.